It is October, meaning Boo at the Zoo is back at the Abilene Zoo, and with us today to tell us more about the annual event, we have Danae and Robert from the Abilene Zoo. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Yeah.
We are very excited that you're here.
Well, we're excited to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before we get into it, you have a little friend there with you.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about her name, you know, where she comes from, all that good stuff?
Absolutely. This is Curly, and it's actually a female. And it is a curly-haired tarantula. They are native to Central America, ranging from Costa Rica all the way to Honduras. And she is a tarantula. She's full-grown. And so tarantulas are a big spider, one of the biggest spiders, of course, species. They're actually very gentle, kind of like a little gentle giant, but they are venomous. So she does have venom. And the hairs on their back are actually what they use for protection. So if they feel threatened for any reason, they will use their back legs and kind of kick some of the hair off their body, and it creates almost like a dust, but it's just microscopic little hairs that create an irritant for other animals. So if an animal is getting too close, the animal will inhale the hair and start sneezing and kind of run away, and then she's kind of runs away.
Interesting. And you said it's venom. It has venom in her.
It does have venom, yes.
But you're holding her in your hand.
Yes.
How does that work?
Well, the thing about the venom is that it's actually depending on the person. So, for instance, if people who are allergic to bee stings, more than others, it could affect them. But in most cases, it's nothing more than kind of a wasping or a bee sting. Okay. What is really painful is the actual bite, because their fangs are almost a quarter of an inch long, depending on the species, or it might be some of them are half an inch long. So if you ever had a wooden splinter in your finger, that's pretty painful. It's the same feeling too when they bite. So we always have to be careful. We still work with her gently. We still know she's a tarantula, so we can't forget that when we work with her. Yeah.
Well, good. Well, I know that you have other friends here with us as well, so I'll let you grab the next friend. And in the meantime, Danae, could you tell me a little bit about Boo at the Zoo this year? What can people expect? What can we look forward to this month?
Yeah, it's such a great, fun fall tradition here in Abilene. We're excited to bring the community together every single year. It is sponsored again this year by our friends at Abilene Teachers Federal Credit Union. They've been sponsoring this event now for quite a few years. We're so grateful for their support. We couldn't do it without them. But we have, a lot of the fan favorites are coming back this year. The hay maze is always one of the most favorite things that we have at Boo at the Zoo. It will be larger and, of course, a different setup. So if you remember how to do it from last year, it's not going to help you at all. It's a brand new maze this year. We also, of course, have tons of fall photo ops out there. The tractors are back. We have that pumpkin house, which is one of my favorites. And then we are still doing the trebuchet this year. So if anyone hasn't been out and actually launched a pumpkin into the lake, it's one of the most fun things. You have to do it. It's so unique to Abilene Zoo. And then, of course, we have some new things happening this year. We always have to have a few surprises, make it a little bit different for everyone who comes every single year. We have a creepy creature show. And actually, Robert is going to be doing this show. And you're going to see some of the animals that we brought here today are going to be a part of that show. And we're really going to be talking about some of those, maybe some of those things like the tarantula. That's not my favorite. But how important they are to the ecosystem and that they're a part of our natural world and what a difference they make. So it's going to be a really fun show. It'll also feature a vulture as well as a raven, and then there'll be some other special guests there for that as well.
Wow, so a learning experience and a fun experience as well. And Robert, you were really fast, so why don't you tell us about this new friend?
This one is a red-tailed boa. His name is Chuck. He's about 4 years old, and he is also going to be part of the creepy creature show there at the zoo there. But these snakes are also found in South America, and that's where they're native to, but this is a constrictor, so they don't have venom like a rattlesnake would. They do constrict their prey, so they'll bite their prey, which is typically small rodents, and then they will wrap their body around and squeeze, and then that's how they catch their prey, and that's how and then when they eat it, they can eat a mouse or a rat that is about 5 times bigger than their head. Wow. So if you look at the size of his little head, 5 times bigger. If you and I could do the same thing, it would be like us eating a watermelon whole.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And
so he's still growing. He'll probably grow another 4 feet. They average about 8 to 10 feet in length, and he weigh about 35 to 40 pounds when they're full grown. But he's still growing, so he's a young red. And they get the name red tail because if you go from his head down to his body, it's kind of hard to see because he's still a little young. It gets a little darker towards the tip of his tail. And as he gets older, it'll get more dark, so it'll be more red. as he gets a little bit older.
Interesting. So do they grow longer in length? Because you
Yes.
know you said that he was 4 years old, so he's still technically a baby, right?
Well, the thing is about reptiles, it's really hard to say, but reptiles never stop growing their entire lives. As they get older, they might slow down. It really depends on how much food they're consuming. So if they find an area that has lots of rats or small rodents, they might grow a little bit bigger. But he'll also get bigger in diameter as well. So he'll probably get another inch or two, a little bit bigger.
Very cool.
And so they do have lots of teeth, about over 200 teeth. And of course, I don't know, it's kind of hard to see, but oops, I chose my name tag. He sticks his tongue out, and that's how he smells. He's actually tasting the air, and when they do that, that's how they navigate, that's how they smell.
Interesting. And I know you have one more animal to show us, so we'll give you some time to go get that animal. In the meantime, Danae, the Boo at the Zoo does start this weekend, and it'll go through the last weekend of October. So for those that want to make it out, how do they get tickets? How are they able to gain entry?
Yes, so you can always get tickets at AbileneZoo.org. You're going to get the best price on tickets if you purchase those online. And of course, if you're a member of Abilene Zoo, you're going to get a 50% discount on those online tickets. So thinking about Boo and then also thinking a little bit ahead to Christmas celebration, you definitely want to go ahead, become a member. You're going to get 50% off not just your Boo at the Zoo tickets, but also your Christmas celebration tickets. And then of course, you can purchase tickets at the door when you arrive as well. It is going to be every Saturday and Sunday for the next 3 weekends, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So it doesn't matter what time you come out, you're going to have the opportunity to catch one of the creepy creature shows, launch one of those pumpkins, hit the hay maze, all the fun festivities that are happening.
Very cool. And all the animals will be there that we have seen today, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect.
They'll all be making an appearance.
All right, and now you're back. You're back with a smaller animal, a little bit less intimidating, and with a couple.
You hear that? Yeah. I don't know if I can. You hear that hissing sound?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are Madagascar hissing cockroaches. They're from the island of Madagascar, and these are amazing cockroaches. I know you can say that, but we love our cockroaches. But these are not fly. These do not fly.
Okay.
In fact, they are, in the island of Madagascar, they will eat anything that the lemurs eat. So when they eat, and the lemurs go to the bathroom, Madagascar hissing roaches are at the bottom of the jungle floor eating just about anything out there. They're decomposers. So it's kind of like any other roach. But that hissing sound is what you heard. That was from this one here. They make that hissing sound from holes in their bodies that are called spiracles. And so they're tiny little holes around their body. So it's not coming from their mouth. It's actually little holes in their body that make that hissing sound.
And why do they make that hissing sound?
Well, right now, I picked him up, and it's kind of like when somebody wakes up in the morning, and saying, hey, I want to sleep in, what are you doing, trying to wake me up? And it's the same thing. But the more you handle them, the less they hiss.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of that initial bit there, though. But you can see them kind of walk around, you see those little antennas there. And then this one here that's coming up on my thumb, you see they look like horns? That's a male. The males are very pronounced on there, and even though it kind of appears like it's their eyes, but their eyes are down here and their head, whoop. And so that's why you see those horns up there.
Wow. Well, very cool. Well, thank you to both of you for coming on here, telling us a little bit more about Boo at the Zoo, and also introducing us to some of your friends that will be there starting this weekend and the weekends through October. And so here's one last look at all you need to know about Boo at the Zoo this year. Again, it'll start this weekend and it'll go through the last weekend of October. There will be live creepy creatures, a maze, trick-or-treat stations for all the kids, and many local vendors. You'll get a chance to see the animals that you saw today, and you can purchase your tickets online at AbileneZoo.org.